Welcome to Beyond the Campfire, the Dead by Daylight podcast, where we dive into the stories, secrets, and strategies behind the horrors and heroes within the fog. My name is Dogbomb, and I am joined by my co-host, Lemon. Hello, Lemon.
Hi, Dogbomb.
It's been such a while since we recorded one of these.
Yes, we've completely forgot how to do it.
Well, I haven't
I did.
completely forgotten how to do it. But we have been to TwitchCon since the
Yes,
last time we recorded. How did you find that?
that was so much fun. I
Yeah,
really enjoyed it, as I always do.
it was, but we did a little bit more Dead by Daylight stuff this time, right?
We did, because they had more Dead by Daylight stuff than they normally do.
I guess, yeah. One of us got face painted.
Yes. Do you think people can guess who?
Don't know. Maybe we'll put it on the Instagram. Have we already put it on the Instagram?
No, we haven't. So make a comment. Who got face painted? Me or Dogbomb?
Very exciting. Very exciting reveal.
And if I had to say it myself, it was really quality work.
It was. I was impressed. I have to say.
Yeah, same.
And we met lots and lots of Dead by Daylight people. But we were most excited about.
Dog.
We met Dork, the lovely Dork, and I believe you
Yes.
have shared that image on the
Yes.
Instagram. Yeah.
I shared it yesterday, I think, and
Mhm.
asked if anybody had any questions about TwitchCon, because then they could send them on Instagram.
Do we have any questions?
We got one comment that says, "Aw, what a lovely picture. Kiss." From that Hannah chick.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. Thank you. It was a lovely meeting. I enjoyed meeting
was.
Dork.
She's so cool.
She is very cool. But yes, it was lovely at TwitchCon. I really had a good time. However, because it's been so long since we recorded this, so much has happened. So much has happened in the World of Dead by Daylight.
I'm excited to hear about it.
Well, far too much has happened. So, in a nutshell, in a very big nutshell, they are teasing a lot of stuff. And it's coming up to their 10th anniversary. They are celebrating that in Montreal in person on the Sunday, along with some live streams going on across America and Australia, which people can go to, some events. They did a big teaser where they got people to watch a live stream. I think people thought it was going to be a lot shorter than it was. It ended up being a 13-hour live stream of a shed, which then reveal that Jason is coming to Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
Since then, they have done a whole bunch of teasers. Every other day seems to bring a new teaser to Dead by Daylight, a new set of numbers.
Before we move on to the other teasers, how many hours of The Shed did you watch?
About 4 or 5 hours of the shed.
Huh. Interesting.
You?
I think I had a 3-hour nap in the middle, but otherwise 10 hours.
Mm.
And I enjoyed it.
We will talk more about the shed later, I think. Yeah, so they've done teaser after teaser after teaser. They've done a summer Games Fest teaser on Steam, which was alluding to it. A lot of people saying that Pennywise is coming to the game. They have kind of ruled that out. Eric Pope has said it's not happening, at least for now. But they have said that there are a bunch more hints in the video, the anniversary video, at least 4. And each one is a different reveal. People are combing the video. It's madness out there at the moment. It's madness, and we're gearing up for this 10th anniversary. There's going to be some kind of reveal happening. Uh, some people are saying it could be the movie. Some people are saying it could be Frank Stone, Terrifier. Just a lot of talk and no definites at the moment. But this time next week, after the event, we should have some kind of information, I would assume and hope, and then we can talk more about it. But for now, it's just a lot of hype, a lot of excitement. I'm excited. It's getting me
Me
very
too.
excited, but we have nothing solid to kind of report on until we find out next week. We will be
So
getting we have got the blood hunt going at the moment, and we will be getting Jason on the 16th. So again, next week we will have Jason in the game.
exciting. So if they are going to live stream from the party in
Mhm,
Montreal,
mhm.
I'm thinking, shouldn't we all get a snack box?
A
So
snack
if
box.
yeah, a snack box. Okay. Okay. So back when I played World of Warcraft, every time a new expansion of the game came out, there were queues to join the servers.
Mhm.
And also people I already know he's going to cut all this out, but I'm telling him anyway. Um, so because there was a queue on the servers and you were going to stop doing the cutting thingy with your hands, um, there were queues at the servers, and that you were
Mhm.
going to sit in your chair and being a sweaty nerd for hours once you got in, you had a snack box. So the days up to the release of the expansion, everybody shared picture of their snack box. So I just thought everybody listening, you, me, we should get our own little snack box for Sunday and then maybe share the pictures and then people could tag us on Instagram.
Do that. Instagram, X, Blue Sky. Tag us with your snack box. Tell
We
us
all
what
need
you're
snack
having for your snack.
boxes.
We all need snack boxes. Hey, that reminds me, you've asked us a question. What was your question from the last episode, Levin?
Oh, my question was, have you ever dreamt about becoming a detective?
I haven't really. I did play detectives quite a lot as a kid, but I never wanted to be a detective. I just thought I was a detective. I had like pens that wrote invisible. I cut eye holes in newspapers so I could spy on people. I had all the gear, and I
That
just thought I was a detective.
that sounds more like a spy than a detective. It's very
Well,
different.
that's
Very
that's
different.
very similar in my world. How about you? Did you want to be a detective?
Yes, I wanted to solve the puzzles of crimes. I thought I would be amazing at it, but I don't want to be a police person, so uh-uh. But yeah, I think I could be amazing at detective stuff.
Detecting. My question was outside of video games, what is your hyper focus? Do you have a hyper focus outside of video games, Levin?
I feel like I have a new one every other day. So, yes, too
What
many,
is what is your
but
current hyper focus?
um searching for gold in Indonesia and why that is a scam. But besides that, I feel like a long hyper focus might be like crochet
Yeah.
because it keeps me calm.
Mhm.
But yeah, anything from rock tumbling to grow your own mushrooms to finding gold, buying bitcoins, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same. I just get caught in rabbit warrens and rabbit holes of all kinds of random information that I'm just interested in the moment. And then I learn it all, and then I'm like, that wasn't very useful, and I forget it all.
Oh, you forget it all. I
I
wish I
forget it.
did.
No, I forget
Like
most of it. Stuff
like
retains,
the
but
laws about hamsters in Switzerland. Why do I know that? I have never had a hamster in my life.
tell me about the laws of hamsters in Switzerland.
More to cut out. The laws in Switzerland is because hamsters are a social animal, it's illegal to only have one. So by law, you have to have more than one.
Just leaving a silence in so it's easier to cut. Um, my main hyper focus, I guess, is magic. It's something that is always been consistent in my life, but has kind of bubbled back up. It's been music as well. Music's been a big thing in my life, but magic is my main thing and something that I want to lean more into. We did have some comments from other people as well. We had a comment from Shadow Lou who commented, "Can never keep a tap on it." I'll see myself out. But another interesting episode. Have you guys ever heard or played the Saw game?
I haven't.
I have. So
Oh.
I used to work in a media department in a college, and the Saw game was a game that we used to study. We used to study games as well as movies, and Saw was interesting because it kind of reflected the movie without being the movie. It doesn't just copy the movie. So yeah, it's not great. It's very gory, but it's interesting. Shadowlu also said, "Hope you both have a good time at TwitchCon." Thank you very much. We did. And they said, "I don't get dreams of being a detective, but I do imagine scenarios for the stories I'm trying to write, but a lot of writer's block. The things I get hyper focused on is doing escape rooms, because the joy of doing them and learning the different themes and the craziest experiences from people, if this counts." It absolutely does count. Have you done an escape room, Levin?
I have.
Did you enjoy it?
I found it too easy.
Too easy. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. We need to take you to a tough one. We should have done one in
I
Rotterdam.
Oh, we should. We do it
Mm.
next year in Berlin.
Do it next year in Berlin.
But writing, I know it said writer's block, but writing, I'm so jealous. I wish I could write stories, like, to make them make sense to others. That is
Sure,
so
yeah.
cool.
I'm sure you can. I would like to read Shadowloo's writing, if they don't mind sharing that with us. Disco DH said, "Great episode about Detective Tap." So, Lemon, no, I've never dreamt of being a detective, but at a previous job, I got a nickname of DI Dave, as I kept spotting fraudulent orders and I had to deal with the police. Dog Bomb, my other non-DBD focuses are photography and craft beers. I'm looking for a DVD cosplayer as I really want to do a DVD shoot. If you know anyone in the West Yorkshire area in UK, hit me up. I actually do know people, so Disco DH, hit me up. Get in touch with me via our social channels. Um, uh, Photography and craft beers, they are two hyper focuses that I have had in the past. I have been
Aw.
hyper focused on both of those things in the past. Craft beer in particular, I went through a period of logging every single beer that I drank. And I still kind of do, but I don't drink as much as I did back then. And Disco DH also added, "I'm really looking forward to hearing about the clown next week. He is my second main." Well, I'm sorry. It's taken us nearly 3 weeks to get to this. But I hope you still enjoy it. I hope you still enjoy what you hear about the clown. And we had a comment on an older episode, the David King episode. Episode 17, but it's from a new commenter called Cornzilla, who said, "David King is my number one main. Yes, his backstory is really sad with Tristan, but at least he's got Dwight in the fog." Oh,
True. And what a cool username, Concealer.
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Yeah.
Have you played any Dead by Daylight this week, Alan?
I have played a little bit. We were away for, at least for me, it was a whole week
Mm-hmm.
going to Rotterdam. But yeah, I have played some DBD.
Any good
Had some
games?
cool games, nothing that stood out.
I did the Zerbs challenge on stream today. It was awful.
What is the Serbs challenge?
You basically have to play through every survivor and escape. And you have to use at least one of the survivor perks. And if you get to level 10, so you get 10 escapes in a row with random characters, you can then move on to the next level. You only have 3 perks. One of them has to be the survivors. Then you move on to the next level. You only have 2 perks. Then you only have 1 perk, and then you have 0 perks. I didn't get past the first stage. I haven't got to the save
Aw.
point yet. So it's tough. It's real tough. But I enjoyed
Yeah,
it. I had fun with it. So
that's the
that's
important
the
part.
main thing. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, tried the Zerbs challenge, failed the Zerbs challenge, probably will go back to the Zerbs challenge at some point. Well, this week we are going to talk about the gas, the gags, and the genuine horror of the clown.
So, the clown was born in 1932 as Kenneth Chase. It was a very difficult labor, and his mother did not survive. Kenneth's father never forgave him for killing his mother by just being born, and therefore they never got a close relationship. By the time Kenneth started school, they were living separate lives. As a very young boy, Kenneth started to find feathers on the ground around the area where they lived, and he started a collection. He kept them in a cigar box under his bed. So, very innocent. Kenneth loved watching the birds in the garden and thought about how soft they must feel in his hands. He talked to a dentist about anesthesia, and somehow, it doesn't explain how, but he got his hands on some. He made a trap on a bird feeder in the back garden, and his goal was just to knock out a bird, just long enough for him to touch it. After a few failed attempts, he managed to trap a bird. And when he had it in his hand, he felt a rush. His plan was still to release it once it recovered from the anesthetic. But as the eyes of the bird started to flicker and the bird regained consciousness, it started to struggle. Kenneth's grip around it remained firm. His fingers started to tighten around its throat and squeezing it just until it stopped breathing. Kenneth kept just one feather and disposed the body of the bird. And now he started a new collection, and he got rid of his old one, as the old one was now a fake collection. As Kenneth grew older, his praise got bigger. Squirrels, raccoons, and dogs. He became skilled at making the perfect dosage of anesthetic for each one of them. In 1954, a young man went missing. The whole town went looking for him. A few months later, Kenneth's dad found a cigar box in the crawl space under the house. He broke it open and saw feathers, animal paws, and one man's finger. Kenneth saw his father leaving the crawl space as he came back home from work. He knew he couldn't stay, so he turned around and never went back home. After a few weeks alone on the road, Kenneth found a traveling circus. As he was a big and strong guy, they hired him to work on the ropes. He decided to take a new name, Jeffrey Hawk. With a new name, new work, and a new family on the road, Jeffrey tried to change his personality. He had to learn how to socialize. Very fast, he got known as a charming and helpful person and a true part of the family. Over the years, traveling on the roads all over the United States, Jeffrey started to steal clothes and makeup from the other performers, just to make a disguise that would let him get close to his victims before he could give them the anesthetic. He would bring them back to his caravan, and they would find themselves bound, and Jeffrey would have his fun by mentally and physically torturing them. Their screams were like fuel for Jeffrey. When their strength was on the lowest, Jeffrey would look for the best finger, the prettiest finger. He would also use his tongue to find the most tasty finger. Once he found the very best finger, he would cut it and add it to his collection. The rest of the body was just pointless waste for Jeffrey. As the years went, Jeffrey removed the costume less and less. He fully embraced the clown, his true self. A night when Jeffrey was drunk, a woman managed to get free of her bindings. As he had fallen asleep, he couldn't catch her. She screamed and got help, and all of a sudden, the whole circus tried to get at him. Somehow he got away with his caravan and disappeared into the night. He kept traveling. He could be seen at carnivals and circuses, but he would never be on the playbill. Over time, he left the ordinary roads, traveling through a veil of mist and entering a new realm. It was perfect for the life he wanted to live, and feeling more at home than he had ever done his whole life. He set up camp and waited for his first visitor. So this is what we learn about Kenneth Jeffrey in the bio. But then we also hear from him in Tome 8. And the tome opens with Jeffrey sneaking around the back of the carnival trailers at night. He's furious because a raccoon has been getting into his garbage. So naturally, he launches himself into a full wrestling match with the animal. Trash flies everywhere. Corn dogs, broken glass, cigarette butts. The whole scene feels sweaty and rotten. He throws the raccoon into the air and loses it. And he starts to fantasizing about mutilating people who annoyed him as a child. That's when he spots a man with a mustache walking through the fairgrounds. Jeffrey immediately notices the finger. Not the man himself, not the face, not his clothes, not even the mustache. Just one finger. The tome describes it almost lovingly, how the finger is thick, straight, rough knuckles, and has a chipped nail. Jeffrey calls it the finger of chaos. That's the moment the hunt begins. The next memory explains why fingers matter so much to Jeffrey. Jeffrey remembered being 7 years old, hiding from his abusive father in a closet. His father is drunk, screaming about Kenneth hurting a dog. The father grabs him and shoves a finger in his face while insulting him. But instead of feeling guilt or fear like a normal child, Kenneth becomes fascinated by the finger itself, the shape, the nail, the skin. While his father yells, Kenneth imagines cutting off the finger and laughing while blood sprays everywhere. The abuse clearly damaged him, but the tome makes it very clear he also had something deeply wrong inside him from the beginning. There's also a recurring symbol where Jeffrey imagines his father almost like a monster wolf-like creature, which fans have noticed in the trailer for the tome. Then the tome switched back to current time, because while following Mustache through the carnival, we learn that an acrobat had died during a performance. The crowd is distracted and panicked, which lets Jeffrey move around unnoticed. The tome does let us know that Jeffrey sabotaged the act himself. That detail matters because it shows how casually he causes death, and that killing isn't always personal for him. Sometimes it's just a part of the atmosphere, like setting the stage lighting before the real show starts. Jeffrey follows the mustached man through the closed carnival grounds after dark. There's the dark rides, the closed food stands, the empty Ferris wheel. And weirdly, Jeffrey becomes calm. The hunt actually removes his anger for a while, and the stalking gives him some peace. Then it's like Jeffrey mentally fades away from the entire world. He doesn't notice the noisy neighbors, the traffic. The lights has no meaning. Neither has society or just the annoying people. But 3 things remain: a clown, a man, and a murder. Mustache Man runs into a children's attraction filled with animatronics. There's singing bears, fake mascots, ball pits, balloons, crackling music. Jeffrey tears through the attraction, destroying everything. He's stabbing the animatronics, ripping pieces off them, shoving through the display, crashing into the ball pit. It almost feels like it's like a comic book. Loud colors, loud noises, there's sweat, violence. But eventually, he finds Mustache hiding behind a fake tiger animatronic. And Jeffrey basically tells him the longer he hides, the worse this hunt will be. Mustache finally runs away, and Jeffrey uses his tonic bottles. And this is sort of one of the coolest lore moments because it directly ties into the gameplay in Dead by Daylight. Jeffrey throws an Afterpiece Tonic bottle. The glass explodes, fumes spreads everywhere. Mustache Man becomes dizzy and confused, and he stumbles around him helplessly, exactly like we do as survivors in the game. Jeffrey then punches him unconscious and say, "It's time to go home," which sounds really scary. Before the tome, the clown, or Jeffrey, mostly came across as gross, creepy, sadistic, and a weird finger-licking creep. But now, after reading the tome, Jeffrey experienced murder as an artistic performance. The hunting gives him emotional clarity. Ordinary life disgusts him. Violence feels pure to him, and somehow he romanticized cruelty. And even with that, he's not rage-driven like Oni is. He isn't revenge-driven like the spirit. Jeffrey kills because murder is the only moment where the chaos in his head becomes quiet.
Any videos with the tome?
Yes, there is a very cartoon-like video after the tome with the clown not looking like the clown but looking as an actual clown,
Mhm.
and then the mustache man.
Mm.
I will share it on Instagram,
Cool.
but it's very cartoony compared to the other videos we have seen.
Oh, interesting. Does the mustache man look like me?
In the cartoon?
Just in
N-
general?
In the cartoon, no. He
Oh,
has
okay.
shorter hair.
Okay.
He's like,
I was
I don't
picturing
know.
I was picturing myself as the mustached man because I have
Uh,
really nice fingers.
you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did like, and it's a bit sad people can't see your expression when I said mustache man because you just stopped and looked into the camera like, what?
Hmm. Let's find out how the clown works in game. The clown, Kenneth, Jeffrey, whatever you want to call him, is a bottle throwing zone control killer who wins chases by making survivors slow, panic, and unable to vault. This whole thing is the Afterpiece Tonic. They are bottles of noxious gas that cloud in an area, slow the survivors down, blur their vision, make them cough, and stop them from doing any fast vaults. If a survivor gets caught in the cloud, they are fighting on the back foot. And if they dodge the cloud, they've lost ground. He also has the Afterpiece Antidote. These are yellow bottles that release a speed boost cloud. It applies to him and it applies to the survivors. He's not just throwing gas at the survivors, he's using the antidote to cut corners, close gaps, and reposition as fast as his chunky frame will allow. Used well, he is a funnel. He throws bottles close to one path, opens another with his speed, and suddenly he's in your face without you expecting it. Not the strongest killer in the game, but he's genuinely fun to play. And when the bottles land right, he is deeply satisfying. Would you like to know some trivia about the clown?
Yes, please.
So, during the development of the clown, the developers were brainstorming two possible killer concepts. One was a World War One soldier who could throw gas grenades, which like the clown's tonics, and the other was a clown who threw balloons, where the killer could teleport and reveal auras using. The gas grenade thing has continued in the game. It is still in the game files. The Afterpiece Tonic is referred to as a gas bomb. He is one of the first killers to have two memento moris. Basically, when he cuts the fingers off of his survivors, if the survivor is female, he cuts off their right index finger. And if the survivor is male, he cuts off their left index finger.
Oh,
Mm.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, and there's a particular reason. The reason is because of Ash in the game. Ash has a prosthetic right arm, which means that his finger can't be cut off, or he has a puppet on his hand, which means
That's
that
true.
his right hand cannot be cut off, which is
That's
why.
interesting that they
Thank
had
you.
to change it because of one character.
A single character. Um, he moves at 4.6 milliseconds, which is faster than most killers. One of the quickest ones in the roster, despite looking like he lives primarily on carnival food. He does not have a home realm, particularly. He shares his realm with the Doctor, both of them being tied to Crotus Prem Asylum. He is also the first killer that featured a range of facial expressions, though they are.
That's interesting.
Thanks. Thanks. I do try to keep this stuff interesting where
You
possible.
do.
Yeah. He is a really interesting one, though, and I found this fascinating. Um, it is hinted that the Houndmaster might be friends with the clown.
Oh.
And this is all down to one voice line that the Houndmaster says when they're interacting with Jake. So when they are moorieing Jake, and only
Yeah.
Jake, they say the line,
I'll take those fingers for a pal.
which,
Wow.
leads people to believe that the Houndmaster and the clown have some kind of connection.
Yeah, they must have.
Yep, it's going to be a while before we get to the Houndmaster's episode, so we'll have to dwell on that for a while. His power is the Afterpiece Tonic. He carries a set of 6 bottles, which he can throw at any time, just during a chase. When they impact, the bottle shatters and releases a cloud of gas. If a survivor is intoxicated by this gas, they suffer from impaired vision, forced coughing, suppressed fast volts, and a 14% hindered penalty to all movement. It also lasts for about 1 second after they've left the cloud. He can also throw yellow bottles which contain an antidote. After a short delay, the cloud turns yellow and applies a 14% haste boost to any player, including the killer, who walks through it, and that lasts for about 6 seconds. If both bottles or both gas clouds touch each other, they will cancel each other out on contact. And if you run through both, it is the last one that you ran through, which is your current poison. He does have a bunch of interesting add-ons to these bottles. Again, some of them are just numbers, movement. Some things faster, some things slower, some things more, some things less. But some interesting ones are the iridescent redhead's pinky finger. Any survivors that are hit directly by a tonic bottle become exposed, which means that if they get one clean bottle hit, they are potentially downable. However, his bottles are reduced to a single bottle. So a little bit like the Hunter's Hatchet add-on, it's down to one bottle only. Tattoo's middle finger, another iridescent. Any intoxicated or invigorated survivors have their aura revealed for 6 seconds, which gives you great information around loops. So that's yellow and purple bottles are going to show you where they are. He also has a blue add-on Flask of Bleach, which adds an extra 2% movement penalty on top of the standard hindered, which makes the slow even more brutal. That's quite a good one to use. And he has a green add-on, the Ether 15%, which extends the intoxication duration by half a second. Add that to the bleach, and you are slowing them right down for a long time. You are catching up to them quite easily. Clown can be pretty brutal with those bottles. He also, like every other killer, comes with 3 teachable perks, and they are in alphabetical order. Bamboozle. Bamboozle increases your vault speed by 15% whenever you vault a window. The entity blocks it to all survivors for 16 seconds. If you vaulted again in that time, it will reset the timer. And if you vault a different window in that time, it will transfer the block over to that window. It is an incredibly strong perk. It is a meta perk. This is very, very well used by a lot of killers. Anyone who is an M1 killer, anyone who's trying to shut down loops, Bamboozle is used an awful lot. It can be used by almost any killer successfully and well. And you can shut down entire tiles just by bouncing between vaults on that tile. It can shut down shack. It can shut down jungle gyms. It can kill any RPD corridors. The speed boost is also really handy for vaulting the window and getting into places or out of places quicker. And yeah, it's incredibly strong for anybody who's good with loops anyway. Wraith, Wesker, Oni, etc. Michael Myers uses it an awful lot as well. On Clown itself, it works super well with his gas bottles. Throw a bottle on the loop, block the vault, and then they have nowhere sensible to go. His second perk is Coulrophobia. While survivors are in your terror radius, all healing speeds are reduced by 50%, and the rotation speed of healing skill checks are increased by 50%. I hate this perk. As a survivor, I hate this perk. As a killer, I guess it's brilliant, but as a survivor, I hate it. Coulrophobia is the clinical name for the fear of clowns, and I fear this perk. I'm a Coulrophobia phobic, I think, because I cannot hit those skill checks. I can't hit skill checks at the best of times, but having a faster skill check is horrendous. It's also any killer that has a huge terror radius, Wesker, Doctor, anybody running distressing. Horrible.
I don't mind the fast skill checks. The thing I mind is that I always feel like it's a surprise when they come.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one I will always fail because I'm not like ready for the 50% speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah, and it pairs well with stuff like nurses calling, so where they can see when you're healing, because it's slowed down and then they can see you. It works well with Legion as well. Horrible, absolutely horrible. Um, but yeah, the fun use case is to run distressing to make your tow radius huge, and then stack Coulrophobia on that, and just listen to those struggles around you as they are trying to heal. His third perk is Pop Goes the Weasel. After hooking a survivor, Pop Goes the Wheel activates for 45 seconds. And while it's active, when you damage a generator, the regression amount moves up by 15%. So it makes a 20% regression rather than 5% regression. So the regression is going a lot quicker with Pop Goes the Weasel. Um, this has kind of gone through the ringer a little bit as a perk. It used to just take a flat percentage off the gen. So you would try and find the gen with the most progress and then take a whole chunk off it. And then it was tweaked so that now it speeds up the regression on the gen. So yeah, you've got to still choose your targets wisely, as to which generator to kick, which generator to go for. And it's still a very, very strong perk. This is another kind of meta perk. He's got a couple of meta perks as the clown. This is another one. Pop Goes the Weasel, you see ran a lot. It's one of the strongest gen regression perks. And it rewards you hooking quickly and getting across the map quickly. It's best on killers who can cross the map quickly. So anybody like Nurse, Blight, Hillbilly who can get across the other side of the map quickly, to get on that gen, which is almost about to pop. It's incredibly strong. On Clown, it's okay. He can use his speed ball, his antidote bottle to dash to a nearly complete generator and then complete it, kick it for massive regression. Some builds that you might want to consider. Maybe you want to go for classic Clown, Bamboozle, Pop Goes the Weasel. Maybe add in Corrupt Intervention and Sloppy Butcher to control the early game, win some chases with Bamboozle, and punish every hook with a pop kick. Or maybe you want to do something with a big terror radius. Coulrophobia with distressing, add in some Sloppy Butcher and Bamboozle, and inflate your terror radius to cover a huge, huge area. Punish anyone trying to heal and make it miserable with Sloppy and create a bit of chaos. The clown is relatively beginner friendly. However, his bottle throwing, while it's easy to learn, it's really, really hard to master. To land them precisely in the right area during a chase, especially around loops, takes a fair bit of practice. He can be a little bit tough to learn for a new player. Bamboozle and Pop are both transferable good perks, but he is a fairly mid-tier killer with a high skill ceiling. If you come up against a good clown player who understands the bottle and is good, they can be incredibly irritating to play against, and hard to counter. Clown is one of those killers who rewards understanding over brute force. He's not going to top any tier list, but he's never unfun, and his perks, especially Bamboozle, are some of the most used in the game. A bad clown is just a large man throwing bottles in every direction. A good clown will control every single chase. Lemon, do you have any thoughts on clown or playing against clown or playing as clown? Have you played as clown?
I have never played as clown. I'm not even sure I have clown. But I I don't I'm not scared of clowns.
Mhm.
I will say I'm a bit scared of his belly button sticking out.
Mhm.
in the games because I don't know why that just freaks me out. And I know sometimes I'm just yelling belly button, belly button, belly button. Um, but yeah, I don't mind him. I feel like he belongs.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. He's scary. I know we do play with a player who does suffer from coulrophobia, and they do have to disconnect when they're playing against Clown.
Yeah, and that's fair enough.
Yeah, but, it is a horror game, and they are gonna put horrific things in the game that people aren't gonna jive with every time. And you don't see clowns all that often, like, clowns are not every game.
It's
Um,
not a Wesker.
it's not a Wesker. No. There was a period of time where Clown was almost every game, and he was just, I don't know, he got a bit much when he could use his speed bottles and stack them, which I don't think happens so much these days. But yeah, playing as Clown, it's really feast or famine for me. Like, I can play a Clown game and get 4K. And then other games, I just cannot. I cannot get anything at all. Nothing's landing. Nothing's going my way. Nothing's going to my favor. So yeah, clown's very much hit and miss for me. I can't always land my bottles in the right place. Um, have you seen there is a 200-page clown document for playing as Clown?
200 pages.
Yeah, so somebody's made a guide for how to play as Clown. It's over 200 pages, and it's wild.
200, like
It's
200 normal
200
pages.
normal being the operative word here, pages.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'll send it to you for some good night reading if you like at some point. But,
I'm
yes,
I'm sure it would make me fall asleep.
it's quite something. It goes into every single nook and cranny of how Clown plays.
Wow.
I'm sure if I read through that document at some point, I will be a better Clown player.
Maybe. You can't be sure.
Every week, we like to pick a creator from the world of Dead by Daylight, be that an artist, a Twitch streamer, a YouTube creator, or a Kick streamer. And this week's recommendation is Beefaloni. Beefaloni, who streams on Twitch, plays a whole bunch of Dead by Daylight, but also plays other bits and bobs, a lot of horror and cozy games. They also do a lot of fundraising for Lupus UK, and they are an ambassador for that particular charity. But we do have a reason for choosing them this week, don't we, Lemon? What is our reason for choosing the amazing Beefaloni this week?
So the reason Beefaloni is chosen is that I was watching a stream that was watching the Dead by Daylight stream with Shed, and they rated into Beefaloni. And like me, they couldn't stop watching. They just couldn't go to bed, and I think they were a bit tired and wanted to go eat and had other stuff to do, but they could not stop watching, and I loved that. Like, I enjoyed the vibe, the theories, the conspiracy theory. Like, it was just so good being there watching the Shed for 10 hours. So, yeah.
It was good. I went to sleep, I think, before you, and I woke up to messages from you saying, "Beef's still watching, Beef's still watching," and I watched my last few hours of the Shed on Beef's stream. It was quite something. Yeah, Beef just had so much enthusiasm, even
And
after
energy.
yeah, even after double-digit hours. It was
And
pretty
they were
inspiring.
so invested.
They were. It was excellent.
Like, the details, they noticed and her chat and, oh, yeah, I loved it there. So I stayed there for the rest of the chat thing.
Yeah, I recommend everybody goes and checks out Beefaloney. We will add the links to the show notes. But if you go to twitch.tv/Beefaloney. Lemon, who are we talking about next week?
Next week, we are going to talk about Kate Denson.
Oh, Kate, the
Excited?
country singer. Yeah, do you know what?
Yeah.
I am. Knowing Kate's perks, I am excited about talking about Kate.
So, the country vibes, so you better bring your guitar.
I'll have my guitar. Thank you, as always, to everyone who listens, everyone who likes, everyone who shares, everyone who clicks that follow button on Spotify or wherever you listen to the podcast. We do have a website, beyondcampfire.com, where we add links to all and any of our major podcast platforms and where to find us and where to follow all of our socials. Please, please, please click follow on all of those socials that you're kept up to date. Lemon, do you have any listener question this week?
Have you ever, as a child, went to the circus? And what were your feelings about the clowns?
Interesting.
What is your question?
My question extends on that. I want to know what weird phobias people have. If anybody has any strange, interesting phobias. We know about the clowns. We know about the spiders. We know about the fear of heights. Who's got a
We
fear
know
of
about the belly buttons.
Who's got a fear of cucumbers? Tell me about it. Who's got a fear of dust? I want to know about your weird ones. Tell me about your weird phobias, everyone. And while everyone hides from their dusty cucumbers, remember, play safe out there and don't get hooked.